Welcome everyone to Discourse. That's Rita.
This is Tony.
And today we're talking about the TV show, or the Netflix show, The Queen's Gambit.
All the track stations are ready.
Read it straight from Google. The Queen's Gambit is a 2020 American coming-of-age period drama miniseries based on Walter Tevis's 1983 novel of the same name, written and directed by Scott Frank.
I love that show.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. It was, like they said, more of like a period piece showcasing like what it was like in the 60s, 70s era. Like it was Cold War, I think, because they mentioned a lot about Russians and stuff like that. But it's basically about a young girl learning how to play chess, and she's kind of a savant, right?
Yeah.
I think savant's the right word. She's very smart, and she uses her intelligence to kind of master the game of chess. She's drawn to chess, really, right? She notices a janitor in her orphanage playing chess, and she's immediately drawn to it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool, right? You learn something like chess from somebody that's a lowly janitor. And I say lowly not because it's bad, it's just because in the world of chess, they often like really prize people with intelligence and cunning, and because they really see the game of chess as like a kind of like a battlefield, and you're playing, right? You're fighting other people on it. And with all of that, they don't really see it as a woman's game. And that's what makes the character, what's her name? Anna?
No.
No?
Don't remember.
Steve? Martha? We watched this show, right?
Yeah, but I almost feel like
Madison?
No.
Craig? Jamie?
No.
I guess I'll look it up.
I can't remember.
Let's see. Her name, Beth Harmon.
Beth Harmon.
I was
There you
way
go.
off. Okay. So Beth Harmon, she is abandoned by her family in the middle of nowhere, right? Her mom and dad are super smart though.
I mean, yeah, I think her parents were both intelligent people, but I think her mom was also mentally unstable or ill because
Yeah, she had some mental issues.
maybe because maybe she was more heartbroken than anything else because her parents weren't together. I think she was kind of like a side thing.
Oh, you mean Beth Harmon
because-
was...
Yeah, Beth Harmon's real parents.
Yeah, I felt like she did have some struggles with connecting to people, and I wasn't really sure if that was her past or just kind of like her personality. Like I
Right.
said, she kind of had like...
Just like a stone.
Yeah, like she didn't really have emotions. I wasn't really sure it was because of her abandonment issues or just her personality. In either case, the actress, what was her name? Anna Taylor-Joy. She was very good in this movie,
Oh
and
my
she
God,
really
amazing.
made this movie.
The show.
This show, I'm sorry.
TV
It's a
show.
mini series. It's basically a movie that they broke up into like 6 pieces.
That's true.
But she was very good, and a lot of the movie, what I liked about the movie is they didn't tell you things. They showed you things, right? When she was struggling emotionally with different things, they didn't say, "Oh, Beth Harmon, what's wrong? Are you sad?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm sad." No. She showed you that she was sad. She showed you that she was struggling with things through her emotions and her facial features. A lot like the show The Handmaid's Tale, right? In that show, they have a lot of close-ups on the actress, and she's giving you so much with just her facial features.
Yeah, you know exactly like the inner dialogue that's going on. Just you can feel it through just her pores. It's just coming out. So you really understand the moment and what she's going through and how she's trying to make it through.
Yeah, and it really has like an emotional impact. Yeah. And they say nothing, which is amazing. Like she says nothing, almost nothing is said, and you're just following her on screen, and she's saying so much with just her body language.
But also, I feel like that is in a lot of part due to the directing and even the lighting and things in certain scenes and the types of scenery that that she's put herself in. Like when she basically locks herself up in her house, like you know what she's going through when she's drinking heavily and just passed out and being all just wild in her home, but you get what's going on.
Yeah, at that point in the movie, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves, right? So in the beginning, she's in an orphanage, and then she finally gets adopted by this family, a man and a woman, but really it's the woman that wants a child because she feels like she's missing something emotionally because she's just a lonely housewife, right? Her husband agrees with it because he's just done with his wife and he wants to make her happy so she could shut up. And they adopt Beth Harmon, and the husband is like, I don't want anything to do with this, so he leaves, and now Beth is stuck with her adopted mother that is a drunk housewife because she doesn't really know what to do with her life. And luckily, Beth's adopted mother sees her talent and helps her become like this world-renowned chess master by taking her to these different games.
Yeah. I mean, she also uses it for her benefit as well. She had a lot going for her prior to her getting married and things like that. You know, in that time, being a woman, you go to school, you get degrees and things like that, and you're very intelligent, but you're still, at the end of it, married off. You're just a housewife.
Expected to be a housewife.
Yeah.
This is like late 60s, so I think really women are just expected to be housewives.
Yeah, so I mean, she had dreams of, you know, playing in an orchestra. She was a piano player, and like, you know, she had a life that she wanted, which she didn't really get. And so she kind of lives through Beth a little bit and, you know, takes her on these adventures and helps her with her, you know, her future, but also gaining a lot of life experience and enjoyment through her as well. So.
Yeah, her stepmom really lives it up, man. She's enjoying the hotels. She's enjoying the free liquor. She's smoking like a chimney.
And I love how everywhere they went, they were just kind of known as like the mom and daughter pair that drink a lot. And that was pretty funny.
So I think, and then her mom actually kind of livens Beth up a little bit, right? Because Beth is kind of like a loner. She doesn't really want to talk to people.
Right.
And one thing I did like was that her mom didn't keep her home all the time.
Right.
Like, yeah, it was the 60s and people were a little more reserved, but her stepmom still let her go out with friends and have experiences, which I thought was troubling a bit because Beth like tries marijuana and she's going out with like all these guys and it's really weird. But luckily, Beth has like a good head on her shoulders and she can handle it. Her mom trusts her. Weird dynamic, I know.
Yeah.
Your mom trusting you, what? But it works out for them, right?
I think it was more of like, listen, here's the deal. Like, I'll let you do all these things if you kind of just let me, you know, you pay me and you take me with you on your journey sort of thing. But we still need to be safe and like, I need to at least make sure you come home at the end of the day sort of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't
but
really...
you can do your thing.
It wasn't really like a mother-daughter relationship that they had.
I mean, it was and it wasn't. She was basically a woman, you know. She's a young woman. She wasn't 18 yet, but still. It's
I feel like they respected each other. I don't know if they loved each other.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, in a way, I think at the end, like when she loses her, I think.
Oh yeah, and see, that's where the emotion comes in, and just Beth Harmon or Anna Taylor-Joy, the actress's acting chops really come in because when her mother dies. It's very anticlimactic, right? She just kind of comes into her hotel room and her mother has passed on. The actress has such great acting skills that you still feel the emotional impact, even with her saying almost nothing.
Yeah. I mean, just sitting on that chair and just like in her own mind, like thinking of what is happening, what's to come. And then the phone call she tries to make to her adoptive father who doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, he's just like, take what you want. I don't. Why are you calling me?
Yeah, like why do I even care?
And she's like, I thought you would want to know.
That your wife died.
I don't. I'm at a 7-Eleven in Kansas right now, trying to buy a lottery ticket. Don't bother me. So she then she's on her own, right? Which I felt she kind of felt lost, and I felt like I kind of felt lost for her too. Like we both at the same time, the audience and her were like, okay, what now? Because her mom was a big part of her chess tournaments and things like that.
And like her chaperone and kind of her...
Yeah, her guide, kind of. And so now she's all alone, and that's where you were saying that she is now in the house all by herself.
Yeah. And
she's like drinking and doing all kinds of wild stuff. And
I feel like she had some moments though where she was doing really good, like she was being an adult. You know, like paying her bills, doing what she's got to do. Like she was picking out new furniture, like making it her own. But then there was also the moments where she just fell back into like this dark part of herself and couldn't figure things out. And was just living through chess. Like
she definitely had some emotional baggage from abandonment from her parents. Her stepmother dying, being in an orphanage, making connection with the orphans in the orphanage and losing them after being adopted. I think you had mentioned this previously, that the power of family or the connections you make to people that you consider family transcend time, right? Because she makes a very good friend in the orphanage that she does not talk to for several years, but sees again later on after her mother passes away. And they instantly connect. So
and those are the kinds of people that you want in your life, whether it be 1, 2, 3. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
those types of connections that you're really looking for in life.
yeah, I think you're right. She doesn't have very many friends, but the friends that she does have are like very strong emotional connections she has with these
More
people.
quality than quantity.
So this movie is about chess.
The
I
show.
know we haven't talked about chess yet, but I felt like it was about chess, but it wasn't really about chess. Like
Yeah.
she plays chess, but it's more about her.
I mean, yeah. So when I first heard about the show, I was like, I don't think I want to watch something about chess because I don't know anything about chess. I don't know how to play chess. But throughout it, because it was more of her personal story and the growth of her as a young woman, but also being a very intelligent young woman, I mean, it was so interesting and it made me want to learn more about the sport. And actually, I thought it was so interesting because I did look into it. All the actors, they learned how to play chess, and the games that they played throughout the show, they memorized each game. Like when they were playing the game, they were really playing the game. Like they memorized everything. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if they know how to play some crazy grandmaster chess like now.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know how to play chess, so I think I was on board with you. I was like, I would be lost watching this movie.
Yeah, but it just made it so exciting. Every movement, you were like, oh my God, that was amazing. Something amazing
Which
happened.
blew me away because how exciting can chess be, really? Like to film, I mean, right? It's just
Yeah.
people moving stuff across the board. But yeah, they make it seem very dramatic.
Yeah, but I think that going back to like directing style and stuff, they just know how to capture those moments and those feelings and
Yeah.
make it really powerful and making that one chess piece movement or those really fast games they were playing seem so exciting and like, oh my God, what's the outcome gonna be?
Yeah,
What's
because
the next
they
move?
take like what, an hour or several hours of chess, condense it into
Right.
like a 5-minute scene and make
Right.
a lot of movements that are like very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And although you don't really know what's happening, you get the gist of it by, again, just their emotions and the actors like reacting to the different movements and
the
stuff
poker
like that.
faces they're trying to put on
Yeah.
and things and
So through her chess
good.
career, she meets all of these different interesting people.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that she's a prodigy. She knows how to play chess very well. She beats a lot of the players, but then later on the players come back to then mansplain chess to her. It seemed very odd to me. Like every
No,
time she
because-
beats somebody, they come back and have to teach her something. Like, excuse
Yeah.
me, she just beat you?
But I think it's like with anything. You learn a lot through experience and things like that. And she doesn't have as much as they do. They've been playing chess more than she has. Yes, they're all men because it was mostly a man's sport. So they're gonna come back and be like, you know what? You have a way better shot at this than I ever have. I'm gonna show you everything that I know to make you that much better. Because she hasn't had their experiences or that amount of time that they've had playing it. So it makes sense as to why they come back to help her. I get it.
Yeah, okay. Then explain to me why she then has sex with every one of them.
No, I think she's just missing a lot of that male connection and especially like not having a father growing up. Like that does play a big role, I feel, in young women's
Yeah.
lives,
Well,
even men. But
It's not like she sleeps with everybody. She sleeps with
Like
a
two?
couple of people. Yeah, 2 of the grandmasters,
3.
right? But she has a relationship with 3. The first guy that actually beats her, I think, has jacked up teeth and bad breath. And he comes back later in her life. He's fixed his teeth. He's got braces. And he wants to show her something about chess, but then they end up falling in love, right?
Yeah.
And his character was very interesting because after falling in love with her, he no longer wants to be a grandmaster of chess. He realizes he doesn't really like chess that much. He wants her. He wants a life.
Kids,
He's happy
family.
with his job at the grocery store. He doesn't need this grand life as a grandmaster. But she does.
I mean, he lived a different life than she did. And, you know, love changes people in a lot of ways. It can make you, you know, realize the
Things.
truth in life. Yeah.
And I think that's what I liked about his character is they connected over chess. They fell in love. And he realized he didn't actually love chess. He liked it. He loves other things in life.
Yeah, because when you have real love, you
Yeah.
can differentiate love and lust and things like that, or
Yeah.
having a passion for something. So.
Is that what it's called? Passion?
Passion. Yeah, passion.
Okay. The other guy in her life is a reporter that she played against once, she beat, and she meets him throughout the story, and they make eyes at each other, but they don't really have a relationship. So the first time they get close to have a relationship, it's in a hotel room, and then some dude walks in and just interrupts them very rudely.
I mean, at the time, I'm pretty sure it wasn't very acceptable to be out if you were like gay or what have you.
What? He's
He's
gay?
Yeah, he was gay.
What? But they had a connection.
No, that was his partner. Okay, yeah, you can have a
The
connection.
guy that came in was his partner? Like his gay partner?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
But he liked Beth.
I know, you can have a connection with someone on different levels. I think for him it was probably confusing because they had passion for the same thing, which was chess. And he can tell what an amazing
But they were
person you
super
are.
close to kissing, though.
Of course, but you can confuse that with
A different
love
passion.
or something like that. He
So you're
loves
saying
her
he's
soul,
gay,
not her.
and
They, you know.
They were, and he wants to be her friend?
Yeah, I think he was just kind of confusing the feelings that he had for her because she is so smart and beautiful and, you know, she has a lot ahead of her in her life, and that can be very attractive to someone, whether it be, you know, I want to have a relationship with you or I just want you in my life, which at the end of it all, I mean, they just end up in each other's lives. They kind of come to that, like, we're just really connected as people.
And that was the one thing I didn't like about the story, was that they had that emotional connection in the beginning, and then the story completely abandons that until the very end.
I know, he
and
comes back and rushes.
miraculously comes back, and she's like, all right, let's live happily ever after.
No, but they're friends, like good friends. And he's there to support her, and all her other friends back home were there to support her. They're all trying to give her as much knowledge, support as they can to help her succeed because they all want her to.
So the guy's name that we couldn't remember, the actor's name is Thomas Brody Sangster.
And he's been in so much.
And his name is
He's
Benny
really good.
Watts.
Benny Watts.
In the show.
Which is a really cool name.
Yeah,
That's
Benny
super
Watts. He wears like cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and a trench coat.
Yeah.
And he lives in a
Like what?
basement in New York, but he's a chess grandmaster
Yeah, like
that
one of the
everybody
youngest.
knows.
Yeah.
He's an interesting character because of all of these different disparate ideas coming together in one. She has a relationship with him, but he's not really interested in her like other people are interested in her.
So, which is strange because when she was with the other guy, it was like the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
It was like he was super interested in having a life with her, but she wasn't. And now she is like wanting to have like this life with him, but he's like only thinking about chess, and she's like upset about it.
Yeah.
And it's so weird how that happened.
It's never like a great moment, right? They're
Yeah.
always like at different moments in their lives.
Yeah.
They're always looking for different things, so nobody ever really clicks.
Never matches up. But
Which I think is great. It makes for a great dramatic Netflix show.
yeah, for sure.
So eventually she does become chess grandmaster.
But I love at the end how she just go when it's raining, you know, and she sees all those old men playing chess like in a park or something, and she goes and she just sits down and she's just able to play, like show just the passion that she has for chess, not wanting to sit there and be like, I'm gonna be grandmaster, I'm so stressed out about winning and being
Yeah.
the best. She just got to play.
And that's what I
From her
felt
heart, which
like
was
after
great.
that moment, she can finally just play, right? I
Yeah.
felt like everything before that
Leading
was
up to it, yeah.
leading up to being a grandmaster,
Yeah.
being recognized as the best.
Right.
She was now recognized as the best. She could finally relax and just play chess.
It's a fitting end for her, I think.
So who do you think she should have ended up with? So we got, hold on.
The guys?
Yeah.
No,
So
nobody.
One of them was Benny Watts. One of them was Harry Edward Melling, who is Harry Beltic in the show. And the third guy that was gay, the actor's name is Jacob Fortune Lloyd. He plays Towns
Yeah, Towns.
in the show.
Okay, so she doesn't need to end up with any of them because she's a
But she's a
strong,
woman. She has to be married.
educated, established young woman who doesn't need a man in her life telling her she's enough because she is enough without anyone else saying so.
Yeah, and that's what I really liked about this show too, was a strong female character in a man's world in the 60s.
Yeah.
And all of the challenges that she has to face, even the minor challenges.
Yeah, like
right?
starting your period the first time while you're in the middle of a chess match.
Yeah. I can imagine that being super nerve-wracking, and then you're just bleeding everywhere.
You're just bleeding everywhere trying to beat some
Oh
guy.
my God, I was like, I can't even imagine handling that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something, girls deal with a lot, so.
And then you're right, a lot of the guys that she meets assume that has to be subservient or reliant when she's neither.
And I like her too because she's not just, like with a lot of them, their whole life is just revolves around chess, and they don't maybe take the best care of themselves, things like that. They kind of let a lot of things in their lives go. But for her, like, she's actually interested in things like fashion. Like she's
a fashionista.
Yeah, like she does have passions for other things, which I also like about
she
her.
doesn't have to end up with any of the guys.
None.
But if you were to choose one,
No.
who would you like to have seen her end up with in that happily ever after ending?
Honestly, I don't think any of them are up to the task of.
So you're saying none of them are good enough for Beth Harmon, is what you're saying?
I don't think so. I don't mean good enough. I think it's just, I don't think any of them are her soulmate sort of thing. I think they all have the same love and passion for chess. And, they have like that life together. But outside of that, I feel like she needs someone else in her life. Not necessarily helping her or guiding her, but someone who, is her equal and can help her through life, and she helps them and things like that.
Yeah, I felt like they all had pieces of what you said, soulmate, right? It wasn't just all one person that could have been. I felt like she was very smart, and because of that, you're right. I think she would need somebody, or not necessarily somebody. I think she needs just something to be passionate about and interested in. And I don't think, at least that we saw, there was anybody in the story that could have fulfilled all of that.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much from her life that she was missing and that she still needs to kind of work through. And
So, if you were to rate this movie, what would you give it?
a show.
Oh, if you were to rate this show from 1 to 7, what would you give it?
1 to 7?
1 to 7 chickens.
What? 1 to 7 chickens. What? That's weird.
I would probably give it about a good like 6.5 chickens.
No. She'd get all the chickens. She would get all the damn chickens. Because I honestly binged it in like 2 days.
I binged it in 2 days.
It was just,
it was surprising
amazing.
too, because I watched the first one on a whim. I was like, I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And then I was hooked.
Yeah.
And I had to
Couldn't
watch the rest
stop.
of it.
I mean, everything about it, everything. The music they had, the costumes or the wardrobe, and the scenes that they had, like the locations that they were at. I mean, hair, makeup, everything was amazing. I honestly don't think it could have been better in any way. All the chickens.
So you ready to go play chess?
All the track stations are ready.